With a clown and had a high old time. Nobody doubted he is true of purpose. Oh yeah, not knowing we had given up everything we had lived. All of an option, the next drop here in this feeling. That's about. That's on the running on a midnight train. Back to back. Conscience is moving to the end. Back to back, blade is already on a jungle vein. Back to back, it's now or never let stand. Give me a break, you're down. Just wanna get back like that's again. Lazy down, what a heavy day.
What a heavy day indeed. Hello and hello and welcome. We've back to CRT Sound System. We've got another Guilty Gear episode, and it is episode 93. We are talking about Guilty Gear Xrd. I'm never really sure how to pronounce it, but the third sort of game in the Guilty Gear series, which is probably the actual 20th game, I think, in terms of actual release. I'm here with Reese as always. Reese, how are you?
I'm incredible, Tom. I've been pronouncing it in my head like Xrd.
Xrd is a good one. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Tom?
I'm pretty good. I'm fucking pumped after that. And we've got a guest. We've got Viv with us today. Viv, how are you? Introduce yourself.
Hello. Hi, I'm Viv. I do a lot of stuff online, mostly streaming, mostly drawing, a little bit of both actually. And a lot of it is under the same like umbrella of just being NB
Hmm.
Black Sheep online. Uh,
Nice. Yeah,
but
I assume you stream drawing, draw people streaming, the whole deal.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
Viv, thank you so much for your time and bringing this to us. I'm really excited to talk about Bridget again.
Oh yeah. I love her in this game. She stopped here.
Got some bad news for you, Reese.
What?
Tragic,
What?
tragic news, tragic news.
No,
Yeah,
I know, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all know.
This
Yeah.
is for Push's revenge for me asking what is a sample for the past 4 episodes.
I've got some revenge planned for that. But yeah, don't worry about it. Try not to think about it too much.
Foreboding.
Tell us about Guilty Gear Xrd, or however you want to pronounce it. Come up with a fun pronunciation for us.
Oh, I know that the title screen calls it Xrd, so that's how
I
I'm
think
gonna
Xrd
mostly
is what they go with.
pronounce
Yeah.
it going forward. But man, this is a game I played a lot of, and I still do from time to time. While I definitely have more hours in Strive overall, this is a game I've gone back and played more consistently. I feel like, it's the exact thing I want out of a game of this type, of like an anime game, of just the right amount of accessibility with just the right amount of grime.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I love a game where it feels good to press buttons in sequence, and Exert is a game that gives me that, and it also gives me one of my greatest joys, being able to just be a monster, because as a soul main, there is no greater joy than popping Dragon Install, having more meter to do super, and asking your opponent, what do you care about more, your HP or your meter? Because you're not leaving with both. You're not leaving with both.
Excellent. Yeah,
all
it's-
right. So for the uninitiated like me, what does anime fighter mean? Because I know it doesn't mean fighters with anime in it, and I might have asked this question before, but I'm asking it again.
I guess to kind of keep it consistent, anime fighters are typically a lot more fast-paced, usually with a lot of different systems depending on the character you're playing, and tend to have a bunch of different meters and mechanics. Like, in Street Fighter, the difference between like Ryu and say Guile is more about like their overall movesets and the buttons and motion they use to play. But in something like say Strive, like not Strive, like Exert, the game we're talking about, you can have say Soul, who has pretty normal as far as a character for that game goes, and then you have characters like even Kai, who has the way his dust works. You can change the way his fireballs work mechanically, where they can be a giant horizontal projectile that has multi-hit, or somebody like Raven, who has a mechanic where he has a stance that he takes damage that ups his damage and ups his supers as well. Unique systems for characters and stuff like that. It's like a one character kind of hyper fighter, like a Marvel vs. Capcom. We have to worry as much about character switching and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's another broad term for it is just air dasher, and like I know that like the Marvels are included under that umbrella as well, but and there are quite a few anime fighters that aren't strictly speaking air dashers, but it's
it's a
like having double jumps and air dashes is definitely a big part of anime fighters, because it really really expands the play field quite a lot and allows you to do like massive special attacks.
A lot of mobility, a lot of nonsense. Yeah.
And I think
I
with like the go ahead.
Everything I looked up about this game, about like related to its difference to other stuff, like the first sentence was just like, "You'll be air dashing. This is the air dashing game."
Yeah. And like with Guilty Gear, like Xrd in particular, I think you mentioned it being quite accessible. Like the
Mhm.
originals are very like really esoteric, and which isn't to say that this one isn't, but like special moves in it are so like you can go so far down rabbit holes with like frame data and like the
Mhm.
specials
Mhm.
and like the way the supers that like end the game, I forget what they're called,
Oh yeah,
like the
yeah.
way those
Your
actually,
IKs.
yeah, like the way those work are so arcane.
Oh, they're
Like
actually a lot more simple than I guess they kind of look. It's just you have to do double quarter circle back heavy slash and then just press all four buttons when you're no, I think it's all
yeah,
four buttons, punch, kick, slash heavy, and then your respective input for it. They're
yeah.
pretty universal, I think, in this game.
In this they are, I think, a
Well,
little bit easier to get out. Yeah.
and what also makes this game a bit more accessible is that it's the way that Roman cancel works. Because
Mm.
in previous entries, Roman cancel was a blink and you miss it type thing. You have to be on the ball instant with how you use it. But in this
Oh
game,
yeah.
when you do it, time slows down and it goes a little black. The screen goes a little black, so you can tell a lot more about what's going on and adapt accordingly. But
Mm.
it's also
Hey,
got grind because
mm,
it's got one of my favorite disgusting mechanics, which is danger time. And danger time is it's a random chance you get when two moves clash.
Oh yeah.
There will be a countdown that happens suddenly, and every single blow does more damage and keeps them longer in hit stun and keeps them flying in the air. So you can do stupid nonsense. It's Xrd is game of all time, and I love it. I
it's
love how
nice.
chaotic it is. I love how messy it is. I love how it feels good to just press buttons in it.
Hmm.
Hell yeah. May I ask, as the non-fighting game person here, what exactly a Roman cancel is? Is that like if your enemy
Oh,
has too many galls? Like what's the deal?
so in Guilty Gear, it's a game specific mechanic. If you press punch, kicks, or slash, or I think just three any non-dust buttons, you go into a state that's called Roman cancel. And in Roman cancel, you basically cancel moves into each other for the cost of meter. Um, and this game, I
Okay.
think, adds a couple new colors. Because I think there's red, yellow, and purple, depending on different states you're in. Similarly
Okay.
to the way that Strive does it. And thankfully, I don't have. They didn't. I don't think they brought back Blue RC from the earlier games, XX and stuff like that, where you could do it frame perfect and you get like even more advantage off of that because they wanted to kind of slow things down a hair while also keeping it kind of chaotic and messy. Where they brought back characters like Baiken and Johnny because those characters are absurd.
That sounds interesting to me. I like kind of from what everything I've heard. It seems like there's a lot of stuff in there to introduce variants, like the idea of sacrificing your special power to get
Mhm.
more flow or something like that. That sounds like
Yeah.
a very fun advanced mechanic that
Mhm.
changes stuff up. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff. Like Exit in particular brought in a lot of unique stuff to the franchise. Most notably, they brought in mechanics from the preceding game, Guilty Gear 2, which was not a fighting game. It was a weird RTS.
It was sort of like a Dynasty Warriors type thing.
Yeah, it was like a
uh with
Muso RTS. It was
with
really
like
weird.
tower defense. Um it was a weird game. It was kind of fun though, I will say. I enjoyed that game,
Hmm.
despite it not being a fighting game, and the soundtrack is sick.
And
um
that whole game's mechanics kind of got brought into the fighting game space as Jacko, who can literally set down like her own
mm,
mobs and just have them swarm opponents. It's neat, very neat character, very neat character.
Go
Um,
Jacko. Less said about Jacko, the better, I think.
I think Jacko's neat. I like Jacko, but
I do.
like As far as the
Jacko,
greater scope of the story, it's a mess. Like Guilty Gear story is ridiculous. It's so
yeah,
wild.
it's a ridiculous. Like I remember like playing XX and trying to follow the story and being like, the story and this is for me. And similarly with Blaze Blue, when that came out, I was like, I got to do the story mode in this, and it is a fucking 60-hour fucking visual novel with fighting games in between. Like it is such like the stories in these games are incredibly deep if you want to get into the lore of these. Like there's so much to them. But I don't have the patience. But it's one of those things that everything about these games is so cool that like you sort of don't need the lore because like it's all right there in front of you. Like you get these cool, amazing characters with cool moves, and the animations are so gorgeous, and like the character designs are so expressive. It's just like from top to bottom, like even if you never look at the lore, like there's so much coolness to these games that like it just sort of it really sucks you in regardless.
The lore is really funny though. The lore is exceptionally funny. Like the Y2K happens in Guilty Gear's like universe, and something starts to come out of everybody's computer at the same time, and it freaks everybody the fuck out. There, some people are just like, you know what? No more of this tech bullshit. We're gonna go to magic instead. We're just gonna use magic.
First, the Strive episode, I listened to like a 3-hour lore video about Guilty Gear, and it was just like relentless how much was happening. And then they're just like, then the president shows up and just gets his hands dirty in the mix, and just like it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Talking about our opening track here, I gotta say I really respect Guilty Gear the Xrd for asking the question, "What if Metallica was good?" That's a really good start for me personally. So.
Yeah.
Like I do think we talked about it in the Strive episode, but it's so obvious when Daisuke is really going after a particular style. He's like, I really want this to sound like this particular band that I love.
Like I love how much he just wears his inspirations on his sleeve, whether it be just for the music he's making or just for characters also. I have to say it was. Just jumping ahead a little bit to Strive, it was very funny seeing Unholy Diver as one of Testament's moves, because there was a joke post about that from forever ago, and it makes me laugh just thinking about it.
Unholy Diver is so good.
I was there when it happened, and we were all just like, no fucking way they named that attack Unholy Diver.
It's excellent. I do think we talked about that on the Strive episode as well. Yeah, it's sick. I love it. Again, like just the way this game is sort of like, if it's cool, it's in the game, and that's all that Daisuke cares about.
Yeah, like rule of cool. It makes a universe kind of work around it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I think we'll jump into this first block of tracks, because we've got quite a bit of music to get through, because I've gotten quite greedy about this soundtrack because there's so many fucking sick songs. So I've got 4 tracks. Sorry?
I said it's really good, like character themes, like even Heavy Day, which was made for Sign specifically. It's its opening theme. Very, very good. Very, very good. Keeps you invested and lets you know what you're getting into, which I like.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we've got Give Me a Break, which is Sol's theme, then Magnolia Eclair, which is Kai's theme, the Lily of Steel, which is Milia's theme, that's my main, and Flash Hider, which is Chip's theme. everything about this soundtrack is fucking sick as hell.
Yeah.
Like I love listening to Daisuke just shred his fucking ass off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Like,
nobody's having a better time playing
Yeah.
Guilty Gear music than Daisuke, and he's just like, we were talking about it during the break, but just like constantly just coming up with unique pieces for every game, and like you wouldn't blame him if he was just like, yeah, we're just going to redo Holy Orders, we're just going to redo Saul's theme, like we're just going to redo everything and like make it better every time. And like there are some amazing arrangements over different soundtracks of some of those tunes that they bring back, but like the fact that he's always sort of off trying to find new ways to make the sickest fucking shredding guitar music for every game is immensely commendable.
Nice.
I feel like you get similar vibes though, because Give Me a Break does have some very similar like sound to Find Your Own Way from Strive specifically. So there's like stuff that's taken, I feel, from one game to the next, but it has its own like body to it that's unique to itself, you know?
Yeah.
That I really like.
For sure. Like it's, I'd say we were talking as well about the Korean soundtrack, and like that just goes in such an interesting direction as well. And then I don't know if if you've ever listened to the vocal arrangements that they did, are they called the New York vocals that they did? Have you ever? I don't know if you ever listened to those.
They sound pretty cool.
No, if you haven't, go check them out. Basically what they do is they take the main like melodies for the like guitar leads and they just vocalize them, and they put in lyrics. The lyrics are cheesy as hell, and they are just like the most perfect. The most perfect guitars are like vocal songs that you would want for Guilty Gear characters. My particular favorite is the Slayer one. I'll put some links when we're talking later, but. But yeah, like the Saul is like we probably did talk about it in the Strive episode, but like Saul being Daisuke's self-insert is definitely one of the funny things about this game, and one of the more fun things. Like this, Daisuke is, it's hard to call him an auteur, but like. He is in every single part of this game. He does the design, he does character designs, he does voice acting, he does the music. Like he is really just like getting himself involved in every single part of the game, and it is like, these are his games. Like, and obviously many people work on these games, and they deserve their sort of their credit for it. Like, but in so many ways, like these games are just sort of the soul of Daisuke put in front of you.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Soul is more than just Daisuke's self-insert. I feel like it's directly him, like, kind of just Dragon Ball fusion dance with Freddie Mercury. Like, that's who that character is. It's so funny, just how Soul is just Freddie Mercury with a sword. Like, it's so funny. I love it, honestly. He also did Daisuke did a really good job voicing him in XX too. I understand why he decided to step down, because like, he doesn't feel comfortable being a voice actor and stuff like that. And I do really, I think I might prefer Joji Nakata voicing him, because I just like Joji Nakata's voice. He does a really, really good Soul. He's the only person I can feel who can give that character justice. And like, I know we're having a lot for like English dubs and stuff to give voice actors more work, and like, more power to them. I want voice actors to get a lot more work, but some characters don't need English voices because their voice is so iconic. It's hard to think of them as being anything else. It's like giving Terry Bogard an English voice is like, but he already has an English voice. Kind of.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things I generally prefer games like this, that like where just for them to have the original Japanese voices for as much as possible. Like, and it's not, and again, it's not for like a dislike of English dubs or anything like that. I'm quite happy to to watch and listen to dubs a lot, but like
Agreed.
just for games like this, it really feels like they should be in Japanese. It like again, like no shade to anybody out there doing sort of the work for it, because it is it is important work, and it's very like it is very, very well done a lot of the time, especially nowadays. Like I grew up in the days of like a lot of the terrible 80s anime dubs and worse. So like I know what it's like for how bad it could be, and I do, I have a lot of affection for those as well. But like just when it comes to this kind of stuff, and even when it's like, even for like Street Fighter 4, and it was cool that they gave you the option. You could go in and you could set whether you wanted like the Japanese or English voice for certain characters. And for quite a lot of the characters, I went in and I changed it back to the Japanese, and the rest of them I was quite happy to leave with the English. But like, it doesn't feel right to have Ryu speaking English. Like, he doesn't. Even if he's like, even if Ryu lived in America for 10 years, I don't think he would learn to properly speak English. Like, he would just be like, "No, I'm just going to speak Japanese. Sorry, man."
I do think they did pick the perfect voice actor for English Ryu, of just being Kyle Bear, just that perfect merging of Street Fighter and Dragon Ball Z that everybody knew was always there. Like,
that is a fair choice.
Like, it's a perfect choice,
Dutch Ryu. What would Ryu sound like if he was Dutch? Sorry.
No,
I was having some mic issues.
Do your silly bits.
Thank you. Oh, I gotta squeeze him in somewhere.
All right, Reese, subs or dubs? Make a decision now.
I mean, subs, pretty obviously. I don't even think I just think that I don't have dubs are fine. Dubs are fine, of course, but I just feel like there is a uniform anime performance that I'm tired of. I'm fucking sick of. And it's fine if I'm watching something and I'm into it, or I'm in a group. I have no problem watching dubs. Easier to focus on. But unless the dub is really good, I have no doubt that the subs also have that going on. I just can't tell what a good performance is in Japanese. So it all sounds great.
Yeah.
Just like performance Japan, pogging.
That's what it feels like sometimes. Then sometimes you get really, really good dubs, like the Lupin dub, and it's like, oh, this is goated, actually. This rules. I love the Lupin dub. It's so good. I think they picked the perfect actors for the job for all those roles.
An incredible dub is the American Princess Mononoke dub with all the celebrity actors who don't really know what anime is, and so that it's like Billy Bob Thornton as this as the short troll guy, and you're just and it's a good performance, but you're just this seems so disconnected. Listening to Billy Bob Thornton and Claire Danes just being like, they hired me for an anime movie. Anyway, thank you for indulging me.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah. What the? Oh no, I had a thought there. I had to include Chip on this just for Josh. Josh, if you're listening, just know that I included the Chip theme just for you. He'll understand why.
Chip is also such a funny character. Chip is so fucking funny on a base level. He's a former drug dealer who ends up meeting a ninja who tells him, "Hey, cut that out." And he's like, "Damn, I guess I'll stop that and learn the ways of ninjutsu." And then just decides to form his own country. Good job, Chip. Good job.
Yeah. Again, the character backgrounds are so wild, but also again, such a cool design. One thing you really have to give it to this game is just the silhouettes for the characters are just they're so unique. The way Just like again, like
Yeah.
it's such an animation forward game, and I suppose actually worth mentioning as well. Like this is the first game where they did that sort of the 2D animation on top of 3D models thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but like the previous games were all like were like sprite work, and I
Mhm.
think Blaze Blue was sprites as well. Um,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
like
yes.
one of the big sort of problems they had with doing Blaze Blue, as I recall, was that like because doing sprites in HD is basically just like so much more work because obviously the pixel count is so much higher. So they
Yeah.
had to figure out a way to sort of do it like programmatically with the thing. So like the way that the solution they found for it is incredibly elegant and it looks amazing, especially when you have
Mhm.
the like clashes and stuff like that where they like put in the little or like the little animations and stuff like that where you see that it's fully 3D. Like
Yeah, it's great.
the illusion that they've created of it being a flat 2D. And then when you see it for the first time, where it actually is like, no, this is actually 3D, is incredible to see. Like,
Mhm.
because
It's a
go on,
yeah,
yeah, sorry.
yeah, sorry. I was gonna say it's a nice little trick of the light they do with you. It also makes certain characters stick out a lot more, like Potemkin. Like Potemkin looks wild. Like he looks like he's from an entirely different game in Xrd. Like with the shading on him, he looks like he's like a Skullgirls character almost. You
Yeah,
know?
I see what you mean. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's actually I never really
Mhm.
noticed that too much before, but looking at it now, yeah, Potemkin is definitely. Oh yeah. I guess sort of having a character that big really messes with the lighting engine. um, and like yeah, again, just like the way this game looks is and because like and again like it's something that I think fighting games struggled with in the move to 3D is sort of like having them still feel fast, like a 2D fighter. Like Street Fighter 4 is sort of probably the best example. Is like in moving to 3D models, even though the game itself is only a 2D game, is in terms of the actual plane it's played on. Like they really had to adjust like the timings, and like a lot of people really think it's a very slow game, and it is relative to a lot of other games, even like Third Strike. But like because of these sort of the 3D animations that they had to make compromises in terms of like animation quality and stuff like that, and like the way frames worked and the way like stuff worked is a little bit different than you would expect. So I think it got people sort of at first when Street Fighter 4 came out, people definitely had problems with it, and I think they managed to smooth things out over the course of the various Street Fighter 4 releases. I think like once Super came out, like people were like, okay, no, this is the game working as it should. But I do remember like when 4 came out, people were like definitely ragging on it a bit, especially in the 2D fighter community. Because it's a very different prospect as far as like say doing like combos and stuff like that where you have to like link animations together. As far as like on like a development side, we're trying to link these things together so that they feel fluid without sort of being too clunky. But I think like Xrd, like whatever they did in this game, like it feels as fast as any 2D fighter. It feels as fast as the old games. Like the way the moves link together, like you said at the start, it's one of those games where it just feels good to press buttons. And like when you even if you just do like a basic sort of magic series attack, like just linking those buttons together, like the way the hit stop is done in the game and everything, like it all just feels so good to just like press those buttons. And yeah, just an amazing game. I really do wish I was able to have played it more at the time that it was out. I think at the time I forget what I was doing instead of playing this, but I only got to properly play it once Rev 2 came out, and then I was like, oh fuck, I wish I'd been playing this more.
Yeah, it
But
really
like,
is like that.
go on, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it really is like that. You just feel like you're missing out on things that you just why wasn't I playing this sooner?
Yeah, I think I was playing a lot of Under Night at the time, which is also a very sick game. So like I'm not exactly I wasn't missing out on that much, to be fair. But I think the biggest thing I noticed when I started playing the game was like how good the tutorial is. Like coming especially from Under Night as well, which is a game that also has one of the better fighting game tutorials. Like the tutorial mode in Xrd is like the way it both teaches you how to play Strive or play Xrd, but also teaches you just like the fundamentals of playing fighting games. Is so smart, and like it just feels really good to do it. You go in and you press the buttons and you get really good feedback on what you're actually doing from the game. It is just a really, really good sort of introduction to fighting games.
10,000%.
Yeah,
I agree, having not played it. I'll tell you something that has stunlocked me, totally changing the subject. The chip's full name is Chips Enough, which, let me tell you, is the funniest name I've ever heard. The grocery store brand Chips Ahoy as your American name is I'm naming my first child that. Thank you.
I did want to mention though, just so I don't lose this thought, is that I think one of the things that helped Arxis kind of work on refining a lot of the ways that made Xrd kind of play well was they had a game that came out a little bit before it that was I think on arcades primarily, but I think came to home consoles later. Yeah, Battle Fantasia was a game they worked on a little bit before that kind of let them feel out how the kind of have these 3D models in this 2D space and it would feel good. And it's a neat game. Very RPG inspired. Very, very cool visuals. Very, very cool name for supers. Has Daisuke Ishiwatari voicing one of the main characters of the game. Very, very fun.
Yeah, I remember.
He's a pirate with a big ass hook hand. It's awesome.
Yeah, I do remember playing a bit of that. Definitely in the sort of the poverty fighter section, but yeah, it was one of those ones that like you'd occasionally get it as a side game at a tournament, and it was always a fun game when people brought it along. All right, so we're going to jump into the next block of tracks. So we just have more character themes. So we have Venom's theme, which is Call Shot. Then Slayer's theme, Jack a Dandy. Ino's theme, Dirty Drive. And then Bedman's theme, which is Does the sheep count the sheep? There we go. It was a question in the thing, so I had to phrase that as a question. Apologies. All right,
Be able to answer that for us after the music. Shout out to Bedman. Bedman.
Shout out to Bedman.
Shout out to
I
Batman
gotta
indeed.
say, there was a time I was looking at Xrd the Third. Whenever it came out 10 years ago or so, and I knew what Guilty Gear was already, but I had no way to wrap my mind around it still. And I saw like somebody playing Bedman, and I'm just like, this is on the forefront of character design. A man who is fighting from his bed. There, but for the grace of God, go all of us. What's Bedman's deal? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go
I'm
ahead.
fascinated
Yeah.
by Bedman.
No,
Because
you're good.
I was about to start talking about the complete freak show design for some of these characters.
Yeah, I could talk about Bedman a bit. Bedman's whole deal is that like from what I remember, he's trying to get something with the backyard, which is where magic basically comes from. It's like the lines of code in a video game for the entire world of
Mhm.
Guilty Gear, basically, and ends up getting blown up. Basically, he's like I think ridiculously strong as like a character, and he's only asleep because I think it just nerfs him to be around the same par as most of the other cast. But like at the same time, most of the other Guilty Gear cast is kind of outrageously busted. Like Slayer is a vampire, and you don't so much beat him as he just goes, whatever. And like, cause his KO animation is him just reclining.
Yeah.
And at this point, Soul is still like outrageously world breaker strong and is basically invulnerable and is just going, I can just do it because I can just brute force everything because I'm this strong. But during Bedman's IK, he wakes up and bro yaps. He does not stop talking. Like both when he in his IK and when he beats you, he just goes on like a lightning fast, like 80 words per minute tirade about how much you suck. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, love it.
Yeah, no, it's like I say, a real freak show for a lot of the designs here, and I mean that in the best possible
yeah.
way. Like
Yeah.
first, like the characters in the first block of tracks, they're more or less the normal kind of characters. Like your Saul and Kai and Chip are fairly like I would say to a degree they're fairly stock fighting game character archetypes. Even like Milia, despite the fact that she fights with her hair, it's a fairly stock thing. But then you've got like Slayer, who is essentially Dracula. Fucking Venom is like a guy with a pool cue. Like Ino is just the most powerful being in the universe who just happens to also just beat the shit out of you with a guitar.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Bedman
a
is a guy with a mechanical bed, and then like you've got like shit like Faust and like like I remember when
so funny.
it's such a goofy character,
Faust
and
is
like
so funny.
that was the character when people first introduced the game to me when back in college were like, no, check it out, you've got this fucking weird ass dude who's just like crouched down and he's got a scalpel and he's coming at you, like, and like that was the big selling point when people were like, come and check out this fucking this freak show. Entirely positive use of the phrase freak show there. Like it's like the character designs that we've mentioned before just so unique, and like all the different animations, like there's so much intentional humor to the way these characters are designed. Like it could be very easy for a game like this to take itself too seriously. And like it is fully leaning into the just the goofiness of everybody. Like Slayer's just whole deal with his wife, like that's like the biggest wife guy in the world. Like if you want a wife guy, you go to Slayer. Like but yeah,
I'm taking notes.
To mention with Slayer as well, like we were just enjoying the saxophones in that track, and like I talked a little bit about it during the Strive episode, but one thing I did appreciate about that soundtrack is that it tried out different genres a little bit more. Like it sort of went off
Yeah.
and did a few more interesting things. Whereas like this, for the most part, this sort of sticks to the shredding guitar stuff and is generally very successful at it. But like even at that, with Slayer, you got to get classy, so you got to bring in the sax.
Yeah.
The sax.
For a man.
The
Yeah,
sax
yeah.
into the kind of like high melodic guitar shredding chords was honestly really divine. It gives you the. I have no idea who Slayer is other than kind of what you said, but it seems to impart the vibe perfectly of like, yeah, he's got some, some esoteric chamber music in there. I don't know why I'm calling saxophone chamber music, but for Guilty Gear it is. But there's still shredding involved.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like those good the guitar harmonies along with the sax in that tune are so nice. Like they just really, yeah, it really all goes together. Yeah, like I just again, I love everything about the way this game looks, sounds, the way it just sort of feels to play. Just yeah. I do sort of like again. I do wish I'd played it some for like in the time that people were actually playing it. It was just one of those games that sort of passed me by, and partly because I think there was such a massive break between Guilty Gears that I was just like,
Yeah. It was enormous. It was like what XX was like. The last XX release was like 2000 something, and then this game was 2013 was signed, I think. It was a pretty big gap that BlazBlue basically filled in for that entire time frame.
It was like 8 or 9 years nearly by the time. Like they had a couple of sort of like we talked about Isuka, and like there was those ones that sort of came out in the interim that were essentially just like weird updates of XX that added some weird things like multiplayer, and was it Iska had the one where you had a button to turn around, which like just doesn't feel proper in a 2D fighting game. I think it was Iska. There's so many different versions of XX that I'm not entirely sure which one I'm talking about.
I think that was definitely one of them. I think it might have been Iska that you could turn around in. It's either that one or it was Dust Strikers. I can't remember which.
Yeah, and then there was like Accent Core on the Wii, and I'm not sure if that came out in anything else, but like that one,
it did.
Was pretty.
It had a lot
of
like Accent Core, actually.
Yeah, that was pretty
late.
Really
good game.
Yeah, I do remember. I do remember that being on the Wii, playing that quite a bit, and like that was fairly late. But like as far as a new game goes, and we had they had the Guilty Gear 2, which was we discussed that before, just being like a completely different genre, which a fun story game. I thought like I really enjoyed the story in that game, like and just following along with fucking what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. The main character in Guilty Gear 2.
Sin probably.
Sin, sorry, Sin. Solo, it was like Solo Sin. Just like just their whole vibe together was really really fun. And again, and like just by the time it came out, and I was definitely all in for BlazBlue when that was coming out, like right up to Central Fiction. Just like I imported the first Guilty Gear as soon as it came out. Or sorry, not the first Guilty Gear, the first BlazBlue as soon as that came out, and then I bought it as soon as it came out in Europe, which was like almost a year and a half after the original release. But I was it was just it was too much of like I need to play this fucking game.
I get it.
I like at the time it was one of those things where like they still did some region locking. So we had to do some shenanigans to be able to play a BlazBlue early. But yeah, once we were able to play it, it was just like I was a Lychee main. I love that stupid character. Like, and again, like that game is a very different sort of vibe, obviously, but it is definitely in the sort of the spiritual successor range for that. And I was glad when they brought back Guilty Gear, but it was just one of those things where I had sort of I had moved on to other things. So by the time I finally got back around to Guilty Gear, I was like, I did feel like I'd missed out a bit. And like I said, Rev 2 is such a sick game. Definitely, like if you haven't played a Guilty Gear Xrd, go and pick up Rev 2. You can get it for pretty much nothing nowadays.
Yeah, it's so dirt cheap and it's worth it. It's such a fun little game you can play. Like even if you're not like doing ranked or whatever, you can still find some people who are still playing it to this day. Like I play it with some homies every now and then too. Play against a really mean biking every now and then too. Like I get put through my paces trying to fight that player, but luckily I have good old Wildthrow to help me get past parries, so I don't get biking parried all the time.
Yeah. No, I think like a good fighting game stands the test of time. Like even like the original XX, and maybe to a lesser extent like the first Guilty Gear.
The first Guilty Gear game is
a bit difficult to go back to. Even
funny.
though
It is a funny video game. I don't know if it's something people go back to, but I think a game where doing an IK wins you the whole game is a little bit skewed. I'm glad they dialed that back.
Yeah. Yeah, that like and again, that was one of those things about that game where, like, you know, if you were coming from like the Street Fighters of the world, the idea of a game where like you could just do a single move and win the entire match was just like both the sickest thing in the world, and it was the source of so much fucking salt. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, and it is fun to go back occasionally and play that game, but it definitely feels its age. I do think that like XX is probably like still a very, very playable fighting game. And obviously it still has its shooters, like people will fully just get into that game. I see it occasionally on like the fighting game discords I hang out, where people will suddenly just start doing matches in Guilty Gear. I think they added some net play as well to one of the versions recently, didn't they?
Yeah, Plus R's been around for a little bit with that kind of stuff. I've been playing it for not consistently, but it's been out for a while now. And that's a really fun game. Like Plus R is really fun. I love playing Order Soul in that game. He's very fun.
Excellent. Yeah. And it's I think, yeah, actually, come to think of it, Blaze Blue probably would have been the first fighting game I played online. Because, yeah, it would have been like... It would have been just shortly, not too long after Street Fighter 4 came out, and I don't think I played too much Street Fighter 4 online. That was when I played a lot in person. But when Blaze Blue came out, there was like me and one other person who were interested in playing it in our friend group. So in order to actually play Blaze Blue, it was one of the ones that I had to take online. And in like 2010 internet quality days, those online matches were definitely rough.
Yeah, it was pre-rollback fighting games that was a dark age, that's for sure.
For sure. Yeah. All right, I think we'll move into the next block of tracks. So less character themes now. I just have like two of the versus themes. And then the Dragon Install theme at your request, because you were
it's so good.
You were psyched that apparently there was a Dragon Install theme, and I didn't realize there was actually a Dragon Install theme because I don't play Sol.
It's the only time they've ever done it, and it's really good. Like it does overtake the match, but like I'm glad they gave it something, because
it's such a cool thing.
Up until
like, it has
Xrd was kind of a joke. It was something you just did as a Hail Mary that would get you killed every single time.
Go on, yeah.
I was gonna say in Core, it was such a joke that they made Dragon Install second, which is even worse.
That's funny. It does remind me a bit of like when in Blaze Blue when you did Bang's special, and he got his own special theme song for it. I forget what it was. I forget what it was sort of like an install type thing where he powered up and he was able to chain attacks and stuff like that. And again, it does take over the match, but it is the funnest thing in the world when it happens. I don't think it's anything you'd ever see in like a tournament or anything, but like it is just a fun thing to see. So yeah, we've got first track is the Spider's Thread parenthesis Do You Know? That is the Milia versus Zato 1 theme, or I don't know, is it actually Zato 1 or Zatoichi? It's supposed to be pronounced.
It's Zato 1, which is
Is it just Zato 1? I think is that the joke? Okay.
Yeah, it's the
I
joke.
wasn't sure. I've heard people say both, so I wasn't too sure. And then we have Reunion, which is the Sol versus Kai theme. And then we have Ride the Fire, which is the Dragon Install theme. What a
And
goofy ass theme.
man, it's goofy, but like it's the last swan song that form has. I don't think they're ever gonna bring it back. They made it so good in Xrd. They gave it a special version of Tyrant Rave in that form. They gave it a version specific move. Like that's literally the apex of what Dragon Assault is for me, and like what we got in its place in Strive makes me sad. Like genuinely, like I don't really care for Heavy Mob. I don't really care for how they implemented it on Kai. I miss Dragon Install from this game. That's why it's one of my favorite versions of it, because it got all this stuff, and I don't know. It felt so good playing it, even if you knew you were going to die doing it. If it was all or nothing gamble. If it worked, it worked, and it even had its own like special win pose for winning in it too. It's so cool. It even changes how the IK looks too, which is even better.
Oh yeah, wow,
Like
that's
there's
cool.
so much silly shit that it gets. That's form specific. Depending on if you're in it, it also changes that if it's in certain IKs too, like Dizzy's or what's his name's Faust's also, which is really fun.
That is cool.
Arxis, I know you're listening. Bring it back.
My favorite
the
part
people,
about
the
it
people
is
call for it.
yeah, the people, me specifically. In Dizzy's IK isn't exactly an IK because it's her stopping Necro, one of her wings, from blowing up her opponent. And she just makes a giant mushroom cloud behind everybody, and they all react like, oh, I just got out with my life, save for Slayer. And on Soul in his normal form will just, straight face look at the camera, but Dragon Install Soul has a reaction where he has a mouth and like, oh. And I love it for that. I love all the little nuances that they gave for this game. It's so fun. It's so silly.
Yeah, I think like one of those things that I love about like insane special moves like that, or just like these weird little modes, is like it's not even about being like optimal or being the best way to win, but sometimes it is just like it gives you a story to tell at the end of the match, where you're just like, oh, I was so close, and I did this and this, and you did that, and I was like, just those the way that like a match can go back and forth like that, and then you have these fun little stories that you can tell between your friends, is just like is one of the true joys of playing fighting games, and like games that include stupid shit like that it's not necessarily the best way to play, but it will give you a fun story at the end, is like is what it's just one of the best things about it.
One of my favorite stupid moments in this game, it's not even like one that I've played, is there's a video like circling around the internet somewhere of two souls in Xrd, and all they're doing is DPing at each other even through danger time, and it's just them starting it and over again as they clash over and over again until I think one of them eventually breaks out of the cycle and wins.
That is amazing.
It's so stupid. I love it. I love how stupid this game can be. It's great.
Fantastic. One thing I suppose I should mention is just in terms of like the couple of vocal tracks in here, because I think these are this is the first game where they've done vocal tracks in game. So all the vocals are done by Naoki Hashimoto, are just known anonymously as Naoki. At least looking here, like the first time he showed up in the series is with Xrd, with the opening and endings. But like, just such a perfect voice for these goofy ass songs. Like just like there's just that like the right level of both like aggressiveness and like again just sort of singing these very silly lyrics that are sort of, again, on the face of it, sort of very stupid, but like he comes in with such like earnestness to it, that you're like, yeah, that is right, fucking, and like even just like the lyrics themselves, when you go on to they're listed on Genius, and there's some great shit like on the Genius for some of the vocals. I think I should look them up in between the next blocks, just to actually have have a look at some of the sillier ones, because just like taking these lyrics that are, you know, they're story lyrics, they're like from characters' perspectives, and they're very silly. So like, yeah, I think just like the fact that people take them seriously is just it is a true joy to see. It's got that sort of Sonic the Hedgehog vibe to it, I think.
Yeah.
I
Just
definitely
these.
think it mirrors the whole vibe of Guilty Gear in the sense that like so much of Guilty Gear is just like abject nonsense that is confident enough that you're just like you're able to be like, hey, this has incredible aura, this is so much fun. If there was a moment of doubt, it wouldn't have the aura. And like you know, as I can only speak as a laywoman for most of this, but I think that it uh you know sometimes, you know, when we do fighting game stuff, I'm just like, okay, this is not a Reese episode, but when I hear Guilty Gear, I'm just fucking so cranked.
Locked
Just
in.
because like I love being a tourist because there is very rarely a moment where I'm like, oh, that's stupid or this isn't very interesting. It's like everything is cool, everything is fun, all of the music is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. All
Hmm.
right, so next block of track is going to be from Revelator, which is the sort of the Super Street Fighter to Xrds Street Fighter. Just like the next update, it added a few characters, and I think this is sort of where the game really started to take hold with people. That it just like it adjusted a couple of things that people didn't like about it when it first came out, and just added a couple of very very cool characters. So the like, did you play Rev when that came out, or did you sort of like what was your what was your feeling on Rev when that came out? I suppose.
I think I didn't have a PS4 when Rev was out, so I don't
Oh,
think I got a
really?
chance to
Okay.
play it. Yeah, because I got it pretty late. I think the only reason I even got a PS4 in the first place was to play Digimon.
Oh, interesting.
Uh, but yeah, this was. I didn't get a chance to really play Revelator. I mostly played Rev 2s. I didn't have the consoles for Sign or
Hmm.
Rev, so playing Rev 2 is my first real exposure to the game.
Oh,
I
interesting.
had
Okay.
seen it played because I think my first real viewing of Guilty Gear, as like it being played fully, was watching the old best friends video for Sign back in the day, and that was fun to
Oh,
watch. That's
okay.
what kind of what got me into like Guilty Gear as a whole because I had been aware of it. I had seen a copy of it in someone's house before, but
Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think the was a bike and an answer that were added for it.
that was for
Um,
Rev 2. In this one, I
is that
think
Rev
they
2,
brought
was it?
back. Yeah, they brought for Rev 1. Like they brought in, I think, yeah, Johnny,
No, it was, yeah,
um,
sorry, yeah, Rev was
Johnny
yeah,
Hagen, and Raven. Yeah, and then they
yeah.
brought Answer and Biken for Rev 2.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, yeah, I was looking at the list and I was like, am I reading that wrong? Johnny is such a like such a silly character again. Just this a, a cowboy essentially. A cowboy pirate, I think, is his vibe.
Yeah,
Is that am I right in saying
yeah.
that?
He's the leader of the jellyfish pirates, and he's what
Yeah.
I refer to as being what that one guy in your anime club in high school thinks he looked like.
Yeah. I think a lot of characters in Guilty Gear are what that one guy in your anime
Yeah, but
club in high school
Johnny
thought he looked like.
especially like down to the katana, like
Mm,
I'm rereading here that the jellyfish pirates are all women, which, wait, that's awesome, Johnny. Great job. 10
mhm.
out of 10.
is the jellyfish? Is that May is part of that as well, isn't she? She's one of those.
Yeah. She's one
I
of
love
the
May.
jellyfish pirates because they're all named after months of the year.
Oh yes. What a silly game. I did try and main May for a while when Strive came out, because I never really played her in any of the other games, and I was like, I'm going to give this a
Mhm.
go to sort of to play with her, and like she seems like a really fun character, but a little bit complex. Like any of those characters where you sort of have to manage a secondary character. I know she's not quite as complex as some of the other ones, but like any of those ones I always sort of struggle with, even though I do find them really, really fun. But yeah, so it was Johnny and Johnny, Kumhyun, and Raven. Yeah, I think I actually have all three of those in the block of tracks here for that. Yeah, and what was there was one big mechanical change, and that is I'm trying to remember what they added. It was the throw breaks, yeah.
Oh right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
that
they had
was
throw breaks before that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
They brought I think yeah that was in like one of the versions of XX again. Try to remember which version of XX has which mechanics. Sometimes I'm like, no thanks. But yeah, okay, right. I pulled up the wiki there, so it was from Accent Core that they brought back the throw breaks,
Mhm.
and then they added some different sort of overdrives and stuff like that, as I recall. But yeah, I think they just sort of improved the movement slightly as well. Um, I think was that where they added the dash macro?
I think dash
And it
macro was only in Strive.
was that only in Strive?
Yeah, from
Yeah,
what I
maybe it
remember.
was. I'm at the point now with fighting games where I can't play them if they don't have a dash macro. Like I just my wrist cannot handle double tapping forward on the stick
Yeah.
anymore. Like there was a time where I could do them, but like now I'm just like I'll just take a dash macro, please. I really like I've gone to head. I would have been like, yeah, they added a dash macro for Rev at one of them. I would have thought Rev, but maybe yeah. All right, well, um, we'll jump into the block of this block of tracks, which is just these three tracks from Revelator. So we have Original Bet, which is Johnny's theme, the Tuner, which is Kom Hae Yun's theme, and then the Moon's Domination, which is Raven's theme. ruthless death. That's life. Again, the lyrics for these are just goofy as hell. I love them. Like, literally, go on Genius and look at these lyrics. Like, they're just you will have a fun time. It reminds me, as I say, it reminds me a lot of Sonic stuff, but it also really reminds me, this one in particular, of like a lot of the songs on the Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack. That are just like that are all just about how Shadow's in so much pain, and yeah, it's just like, again, there's a goofiness to it, but there's an earnestness to it that you just it can't be denied. And like Raven feels like that kind of character regardless. Was this the first game where he was playable?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think he was just there as like a background character and never fully fleshed out or given any real character, I think, until this game anyway.
I think maybe he was a boss in Guilty Gear 2.
I can believe it.
He was in it. I just don't remember if you fought him.
He might have been playable in 2, I think. So I know he's had his own wind pose and stuff like that in his animations. So that's kind of the reason.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like, again, just like one of those perfect sort of like archetypal characters that they just bring in and give it a really, really interesting, fun design. Like, they're, again, the silhouettes in these are so cool, and like just the long skinny guy with claws is like such a fighting game archetype. But you do love to see it.
Yeah.
The lyrics, I was looking at them because you pointed it out during the break, and I was feasting. This was so much fun. The starting lyrics: birds fly according to instinct, no one tells them how or why. That's fucking metal, dude. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, just to agree with Four Push here, absolutely follow along with all the lyrics with these songs, because chef's kiss.
Do yourself a favor. Yeah. So I don't want to go on too long, because we're definitely getting quite late on this one. So I think we'll very quickly move on to Rev 2. And again, this is sort of where I joined this game and was like, I wish I had done so sooner. But they added another couple of characters. Yeah, this is where they added Biken and Answer, and we talked a little bit about Biken's character design changing. To some degree for the better. Like, I think it is a very cool design. Just like now, but like if you're sensitive to big boobs, maybe not the character for you. But also, if you are, why are you playing fighting games? Like,
it's they're kind of part and parcel at this point.
Yeah, you just sort of have to put up with it to some degree. But like again, like, the original character design is quite cool from like the first couple of games, but I do understand why it was changed. Even though, like, there is to a degree the way a lot of modern anime looks is where, like, a lot of characters have the same face, and like the way, like, shading and everything is done in a lot of character designs now does tend to make people look a little bit samey. You don't, something I complained a little bit about and praised Danganronpa for was just like how unique those character designs are in a world where everybody looks like, the same. Like, and I understand why, especially with the advent of like digital coloring and stuff like that, where like, that you don't get that sort of hand drawn shading that you used to get in character designs. But like, as far as this game goes, like the way they've sort of integrated all the characters and given them a very, very unique look, and a really, really unique silhouette is definitely something that like stands out. Like, all of these characters are so recognizable. Even though there are like some elements to them that are a little bit generic. And sort of have gotten sort of smoothed out over the years in terms of the character designs, going back to like the first Guilty Gear and Guilty Gear XX. But yeah, like Baiken, a cool character, like just a one-armed swordsman. Again, an archetype, but executed excellently. Never played her, but I was of the understanding she wasn't great. But you said that she is actually quite a strong character, so I will definitely have to. I'll definitely have to believe you in that, because like my experience with this game is like maybe 4 characters that I've played quite a lot of, and then a couple of other ones that I dabbled in. What were you going to say, Reese? Sorry.
I just to kind of build off your point is like for my reaction watching Guilty Gear gameplay is that sometimes I'm like the character designs are so different. I'm shocked that they can interact on like a level playing field. I'm just like, I can't believe this person is able to touch this other person in a violent way. Just because this person is like a weird gangly monster and this other person is a 3 foot tall girl, like, but of course it's all very very well balanced, and or I assume, just to say sort of like it's for somebody who doesn't have that level of knowledge with some of this stuff. It's so standout, so like the character designs, like before anything else, and it's like there's so many unique characters. It boggles the mind. Like just clicking through, and you're just like, we got a shadow guy here, and there's Bridget. We all love Bridget, and it's just like it's I know it comes from playing the game a lot, but it's like hard to even like keep the characters in my head sometimes because they're such a variety. It's like there's not even like a this is what Guilty Gear characters look like baseline. It's just like they all crazy.
Yeah, again, a complete freak show for a lot of these. Go ahead, sorry.
I do wish they played around a bit more with like designs and stuff with Guilty Gear characters. Like I feel like for a character like Baiken specifically, she should have like more musculature in general. Like if you're gonna have like a couple like cohesive things, if you're gonna make fucking Baiken, excuse me, design like that, you need to like at least implement other aspects of their character into their design and not just have it be, oh well, hand wave it. Like, homie drinks like a fish. Implement that into that design in some way.
Arxis, please make Baiken a muscle girl for me and Viv.
For us, yeah. For everybody for everybody who understands who Baiken should be.
Yeah. All right. So we'll jump into this last block of tracks here. So first track we have is N.S.F.W, which is the ending theme. Then we have ROKUMON. I should have gotten a translation for those characters. That is Baiken's theme. And then we have Answer's theme, which is Enough is Enough. Did you, Reese? I wonder, did you look up anything about Answer while we were there? Because I feel like if you
No.
haven't, you should, because you will enjoy it greatly. But,
Answer's very funny.
it's a very funny character.
Answer's very funny.
I love Answer. I just the thing that kept jumping out to me with the N.S.F.W is just like it is just this perfect sleazy glam metal song, like and like I probably would have included it as the last song, but I wanted to include it in the block because I just like listening to it. I was just like, God, this song is just such a sleazy sort of like Motley Crue kind of thing. And again, I love when Daisuke is just sort of like going, all right, I'm doing a very specific thing here. I'm sort of calling back to some of my favorites.
Yeah, it's fun.
And you love
It's
to hear
fun.
it. Yeah. Bike and Steam is great. I do love like the inclusion of like the Koto and stuff in it. I often complain about that in like when people will just throw in Koto and shamisen and stuff like that into character themes just to make sure that you know that they're Japanese. But in this, for like what it really gives me is like a Last Blade vibe. Like I love the Last Blade soundtracks. I love the Last Blade. Like what a fucking cool game.
Last Blade's really
those
great.
games are so
Cool.
sick.
But,
and just like that. Go on, yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say, like, the shamisen and Koto for Baiken, while it might be hackneyed, I guess, for any other character, for her it's thematically appropriate because her being Japanese is integral to her character because in the context of Guilty Gear, Japan is gone. It's the stage you go to in Xrd, that's that waterfall stage you're standing on, that's where Japan used to be.
Okay.
And there's only like a handful of like actually Japanese people left in the world of Guilty Gear. It's Baiken and Mei. It's those two. Are the two that we interact with the most. Chip isn't. Chip is just he's a weeb, for lack of a better word. Just because if you listen to some of the stuff he just says a bunch of random Japanese words. Like when you listen to him talk in game.
Oh yeah.
Like randomly he'll just be throwing out a special move and he'll be saying like you'll say Mitsubishi and shit like that. Like
Oh yeah.
It fits.
I have
there.
currently I have now gazed upon Answer, and Answer rocks.
Answer is very
I
funny.
am so amused by the phrase "business ninja."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on with Answer's forehead? Can I ask? I have not.
I don't think anybody knows, not even him.
Okay, all right. You know what? I've been there.
Think the funniest thing about Answer, I don't know if they show. I don't know if you can really get an idea of it from like the image you're probably looking at them. But while you're fighting Answer or playing as him, no matter what is happening, he is always on the phone during a phone call. Like an entirely separate, unrelated business phone call he is undertaking while fighting. It is so funny. Even as he's getting pot busted, he's still on that phone call, not breaking it. His professionalism is unmatched.
He's got ninja business. I get it. Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed that as much as I thought you would, Reese.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah, and again, just another very unique, goofy character. This game is not afraid to just goof it up as much as possible. Even if it's like, yeah. So that has been Guilty Gear Xrd. Thank you so much for joining us, Viv. If you want to start plug your socials or anywhere people can find you, please do so now.
Anywhere that you see NB Black Sheep, it's definitely me. I've patterned myself and had to keep myself underground enough that nobody wanted to steal my identity. So if you see NB Black Sheep, it's probably me on Blue Sky, on Twitch, any game you could probably see me in. It's most likely me, just messing about, doing stuff, this, that, and the other thing. I do stream regularly Monday through Fridays. I'm doing kind of a Black History Month thing while I'm playing a bunch of games that have like black devs. Currently working through Advent Neon. Very good video game. Very, very, very good video game.
It's awesome. That's really cool.
I was not aware that. That looks cool, actually. Wow. Oh, that looks
So
sick.
if
Actually,
you
yeah,
like
I gotta-
Sonic, if you like Mega Man, like the X series and stuff like that, and if you're a big fan of like really high intensity, high speed video games, definitely give it a look. It's very good.
It looks cool, yeah. Yeah, I will absolutely put some links into the show notes for you to find Viv online. Reese, anything going on at the moment?
Nah, just check me out in the show notes.
Check Reese out in the show notes. As for ourselves, as always, you can come find us on Patreon, patreon.com/CRT Sound System. We are CRT Sound System on Blue Sky. You can follow me on Blue Sky's 4Push. Come hang out in the Discord if you want to chat and talk shit about whatever. We like to hang out with people. Come on the show if you're interested in coming on the show. Like, again, I keep saying it, but like, somebody reached out to me the other day and I was like, yeah, just like literally, I'm always happy to hear from somebody who wants to talk about a video game soundtrack.
Come on the show.
Yeah,
Please. It's an order.
Please do come on the show. We love to have guests on. We love new people. We love old people. If you just have a soundtrack, you're like, I need the world to hear my thoughts on this soundtrack. This is your chance. Thank you again so much, Viv. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on. We will definitely have you back on again for something. We'll figure out something to have you on for again. We're going to go out with this final track, which is the opening for Rev 2. It's called Break a Spell. Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Viv. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tom.
Goodbye.
Approach the